Okay, welcome back to the Pete the Sheet Stunt Race series, and you can see I'm having a little dance in my car there. Today we'll be racing the Jibachi Massacro Racecar, my favourite car in the entire game, and probably on one of my favourite stunt races as well. This is the Maze Bank Ascent, fantastic race, and you can see you've got the usual chaos right at the beginning of the race. Everyone jockeying a little bit there. Some nice custom cars in this as well, some pretty nice cars driving in this race. I will always, every sports car race though, just plump on the Massacro. It is the absolute best car in the game in my opinion. I mean, yeah, Bruffy does say that the Elegy is quicker and he gets a better, you know, when Bruffy's racing he gets a better lap time out of the Elegy. But of course the Massacro's only a couple of tenths of a second behind, along with the Jester race car. I think it all, like, as he says, it all depends on how you drive, and as you can see with the Massacro in front of you there, I'm taking such a great line through this tube. I think I'm quite far ahead of my nearest rival already on this race. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video in particular. I noticed quite a lot of people on this race in particular flying around into the tubes, not really landing it correctly. And I think you've got to apply the same principles as you do to the road, as you do to a tube. So as you can see there, I'm taking the wide line around the tube. But the downforce will be pinning me against is pinning me against the ground there, and you can see I'm going to take this extreme line through this tube because it's on the outside of the bend. And you get such a great whip through it. You get such a great whip through the corner. By the time you come out of this tube section, you'll be able to see when I take the U bend at the bottom here. You'll be able to see when I'm just driving up the other side here how far behind everyone else is, because everyone seems to take quite a odd route through tubes. It's not like it's not like something that you've got to drive in the middle of the road to get round. You can use the entirety of the tubes, and I implore you to use the entirety of the tubes. You'll see me go straight to the outside of the curve on every single one of these stunt tubes. And again, it's all about how you drive. I'm taking that a little bit faster, but as you can see, good, fast, consistent driving, trying to hit the racing lines, using as much of the road as possible. There you go, you're hitting the apex of the corners and into the tubes, and using that principle of hitting the apex of the tube all the way around the outside there, so you can keep flat down on the accelerator all the way around, rather than driving on the bottom of the tube. Just straighten up slightly for the end, and there you go. Always use that the left stick on the D-pad on the gamepad, just to roll yourself round. Always land on your feet, as it were. And we're now coming to the end section of lap 2. My favourite section of the race. Look at the speed we can get. The speed you can get around here, especially if you're taking the right line. And look, here we are. We're starting to lap people. Yeah, and you see it there. He didn't line up his wheels at the base of his car with the platform he was going to land on. See, if you're going to land on the left hand side of the tube, line up your wheels to race on the left hand side of the tube, because you're going fast enough, the car will stick, especially if you're driving something, especially if you're driving one of the race cars, one of the new stunt cars. you know, the Tropus Rally and the Obey Omnis are good cars. Pretty slow, in my opinion. They don't have the handling of the Massacro Racecar. The Massacro Racecar reminds me of the FTO limited edition that was in Gran Turismo 2. And I just love that car, I love this car, I love everything about it. And we're starting lap 3. We are 33 seconds ahead of our nearest competitor. And this last lap is really a victory lap, isn't it? You know. And like I said, the to me, this car's always been, ever since it came into the game, it's been the best car for me. Any race where I get to race this, I'm pretty much going to win, I think. You know, the Tropus Rally, the Obey Omnis, and of course this week's new sports car additions, the Ocelot Lynx and the Drift Tamper, they all look pretty cool. You know, I have the Rally, the Tropus Rally and the Obey Omnis because I'm a big rally fan. I love the Audi Quattro and I love the Lancia. Fantastic cars. I would have liked a little bit of Lancia Delta action, but you know, maybe. The Drift Tamper's a cool looking car, especially if you paint it matte, in my opinion. Get rid of that livery option. But none of them can compare to the traction and power you can get with the Massacro Racecar, the Jester Racecar. I mean, yeah, to an extent the Elegy. I'm not a great fan of the Elegy. It's the free car for a reason. And look at that. That's the line you need to take through that third to last tube. You need to almost be at sort of 9 o'clock driving around it, because that's where the bend is. That's where the corner is. The corner is essentially at 9 o'clock of the tube, and you need to be driving at that point to get the most. You can get a real whiplash round the bend. And you can see here we are, just 7 minutes in. I'm about to finish the race. I did lap a couple of people there, and you'll be able to see now some of them have definitely given up. Oh, here we go, we're with Kill for Cash again. Nice car, and he's second place. He's well a long way behind me, mate. There you go. Just taking his car out on the way in. 8th place has just stopped in a tube. Don't want to race anymore. Ah, well, he's a dancing raccoon. Why not? So, you know, even though the big thing in Cunning Stunts, I think, the races are great. The big thing was everyone was looking forward to the cars. But certainly in the sports car class, they're not really competitive. They are if you can, you know, if you're a superior racer. But to me, nothing beats the Massacro. And we're back with this guy again. 15 seconds left till race end. And yeah, it looks like 3 guys just completely gave up. Oh no, that guy finished. One just decided, one finished. And it looks like actually maybe the other guys as well. He was certainly moving on the mini-map. First place, 7 minutes 19 seconds. 17 grand. And we're moving on up. Peace everyone. See you in the next race.